We're at 5,878 meters in the southern part of the Mariana Trench over by the Challenger Deep.
In the silent blackness, nearly 7 miles beneath the Pacific Ocean, lies a place so extreme, it defies imagination. The Mariana Trench. Here, sunlight never penetrates. Temperatures hover just above freezing, and the pressure is so crushing, it would flatten a human body in seconds. For decades, this abyss was thought to be lifeless, too dark, too cold, too hostile for anything to survive. Yet when explorers finally descended into its depths, they discovered something no one expected. Strange, translucent creatures, drifting like ghosts in the water. Organisms clinging to bare rock, thriving without sunlight. Entire ecosystems powered not by the warmth of the sun, but by the chemicals pouring from the earth itself. But these weren't the only surprises waiting down there. Scientists also found the fingerprints of humanity, fragments of plastic, toxins, even radioactive traces, all the way at the bottom of the ocean, in what was once thought to be the purest place on Earth. The question is no longer whether life exists here. The question is what else is hiding in this alien world beneath the waves, and what these discoveries could mean for the future of our planet and beyond. The ocean has always been a frontier of mystery, but the Mariana Trench is something different altogether. Stretching nearly 1,500 miles long and plunging to a depth of about 36,000 feet, it is the deepest known point on our planet. To put that in perspective, if you place Mount Everest inside the trench, its peak would still be submerged by more than a mile of water. This staggering scale is not just impressive, it is almost incomprehensible. With every additional mile down, the world above becomes more distant, more unreachable, until the ocean itself transforms into a realm beyond human experience. The pressure alone is a force we can barely grasp. Imagine the weight of 1,000 elephants pressing down on every square inch of your body. That is what it feels like at the trench's deepest point. And yet, this crushing weight is not chaos. It is physics, the product of Earth's restless geology. The trench was born from the collision of tectonic plates, where the Pacific plate is forced beneath the smaller Mariana plate in a process called subduction. As one plate dives under another, it carves an unimaginably deep scar into the ocean floor, creating both danger and opportunity. It is here, at these collision zones, that Earth's greatest forces collide. Massive earthquakes and tsunamis often have their origins in trenches like this. At the same time, subduction drives the recycling of Earth's crust, pulling ancient seafloor into the planet's interior and fueling volcanic activity thousands of miles away. The Mariana Trench, then, is not just a void of darkness. It is a window into the dynamic engine that powers our entire world. What makes this even more compelling is that the trench is not uniform. It is a landscape of jagged cliffs, steep walls, and narrow valleys, each more alien than the last. The deepest part, Challenger Deep, is like a hidden pocket carved into the seafloor, a place so remote that only a handful of humans have ever witnessed it firsthand. To stand at the edge of Challenger Deep, even virtually through a camera lens, is to peer into a world almost entirely untouched by time. And yet, even in this most forbidding environment, the trench holds more than just geological secrets. The sheer depth, the crushing darkness, the chemical-rich waters, all of it sets the stage for life forms unlike anything we imagined. This is where the boundaries of science and discovery collide, where questions about survival, adaptation, and possibility take on a new urgency. It is no wonder, then, that explorers and scientists are drawn to this abyss, for in its depths lie not only answers about Earth's geology, but also tantalizing clues about life's resilience, and perhaps even its origins. For all its mystery, the trench remained untouchable for most of human history. Maps marked it, theories described it, yet no one had ever seen its depths, That changed when a few daring explorers built machines strong enough to endure the crushing pressure and descended into the unknown. The first of these attempts came in 1960 when a U.S. Navy submersible known as Trieste carried two men, Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh, nearly 7 miles down into Challenger Deep. The dive was slow, lasting almost 5 hours, as the craft creaked under pressure that could have crushed a steel battleship. Every moment was a gamble. Every sound of strain, a reminder of how fragile human engineering was compared to the raw weight of the ocean. When they finally reached the bottom, they described a barren gray seafloor. But then, something moved. Through the small viewing port, they caught sight of a flatfish-like creature stirring in the sediment. It was a revelation. Life, even here, where no sunlight had ever touched. That brief glimpse proved that Earth's most hostile environments were not lifeless voids, but ecosystems waiting to be understood. For decades after, no human returned. The technology was expensive, the risks immense, and the ocean's deepest places slipped back into legend. Unmanned probes and remotely operated vehicles ventured down, but it wasn't until 2012 that another human would repeat the journey. This time it was filmmaker and explorer James Cameron. Cameron's deep-sea Challenger was a vertical torpedo-shaped submersible designed to withstand pressures equal to 1,100 times what we feel at sea level. He descended alone, an unprecedented feat of both courage and engineering. When he reached the bottom, he spent nearly 3 hours filming and collecting samples, documenting organisms that no one had ever seen before. His words afterward carried the awe of someone who had walked on another planet. It's like a completely alien world. These expeditions revealed not only life, but also how much of the ocean remains unexplored. The trench had gone from being a line on a map to a place where humans had walked, and yet it remained largely a mystery. Only a handful of people in all of history have stood at Challenger Deep, making it one of the rarest human experiences imaginable. And exploration comes with tragedy as well as triumph. The 2023 loss of the Titan submersible during a dive to the Titanic reminded the world of the unforgiving nature of the deep ocean. The sea does not compromise, and every descent carries a risk that cannot be engineered away. These sobering events underscore just how extraordinary it is that humans have touched the trench at all. As explorers broke through the barriers of depth, they also opened the door to astonishing discoveries about life itself. For the trench was not empty, not barren, but alive in ways that defied everything science had once assumed. At first glance, the seafloor seemed like a desert of silt and stone. Yet with closer observation, movement betrayed the truth. Amphipods, small, shrimp-like creatures, scuttled across the sediments. Some measured nearly a foot long, far larger than their shallow water relatives. They thrived where no sunlight reached, feeding on scraps of organic matter that drifted down from above. Their existence alone was remarkable, but they were only the beginning. Further surveys revealed ghostly snailfish, pale and translucent, their bodies so delicate they seemed almost liquid. Unlike most fish, they had adapted to the crushing pressure with flexible bones and special proteins that kept their cells from collapsing. To watch them swim gracefully through the abyss was to witness a paradox. Creatures fragile enough to tear in the open air, yet perfectly suited to the most extreme depths on Earth. Even stranger were the giant, single-celled organisms called xenophyophores. Some stretched several inches across, making them among the largest single cells known to science. They thrive by filtering particles from the water, building intricate shell-like structures from whatever materials they could find. In the trench, where complexity should not exist, these organisms turned simplicity into survival. But perhaps most fascinating were the extremophiles, microscopic lifeforms that endure the unendurable. These organisms are capable of surviving toxic chemicals, near freezing temperatures, and and pressure that would obliterate most life. Scientists studying them realized that such creatures could provide clues to the very origin of life on Earth. If organisms can live in such hostile conditions here, then perhaps life can also survive in the hidden oceans of Europa, or beneath the icy crust of Enceladus. The Mariana Trench is not just a window into our planet's biology. It may be a mirror reflecting the possibilities of life across the universe. And yet, the discoveries were not limited to the wondrous. Alongside these natural marvels, researchers found signs of humanity's reach. Fragments of plastic, chemical pollutants, and even traces of radioactive material were pulled from the deepest sediments. The fact that human waste had found its way to a place so remote and so inhospitable was both sobering and disturbing. If our footprint exists even here, in the ocean's most hidden corner, then no part of the planet is untouched. Still, the life forms of the trench tell a story not of despair, but of resilience. In a world without sunlight, without warmth, without air, life has adapted. It has endured. And in doing so, it has shown us that the limits of biology are far wider than we once believed. Each new discovery, a strange fish, a massive microbe, a survivor against all odds, redefines what it means to be alive. These creatures should not exist, and yet they do. And in their persistence, they remind us that life, in all its forms, is not fragile, but relentless. The question that follows is inevitable. If life flourishes in this abyss, what other secrets lie hidden in the landscape itself? For beneath the creatures, beneath the sediments, there are deeper mysteries still, written not in biology, but in stone. The question that follows is inevitable. If life flourishes in this abyss, what other secrets lie hidden in the landscape itself? For beneath the creatures, beneath the sediments, there are deeper mysteries still, written not in biology, but in stone. The Mariana Trench is not a smooth hollow carved into the seafloor. It is a jagged scar, a wound where two of Earth's great tectonic plates collide. Here, the vast Pacific Plate dives beneath the smaller Mariana Plate, plunging into the Earth's mantle in a process known as subduction. This is the engine that drives much of our planet's geology. Earthquakes, volcanoes, the shifting of continents, all linked to trenches like this. But the landscape it creates is anything but uniform. Sheer cliffs rise thousands of feet. Narrow valleys slice into the abyssal plain. The deepest recess, Challenger Deep, is a pit within a pit, a place where darkness seems to fold in on itself. For explorers peering through the window of a submersible, it is like gazing into another world, a world without scale, without reference, where the mind struggles to comprehend what it sees. The geology here is not only dramatic, but also active. Fluids seep from cracks in the crust, carrying chemicals that fuel strange ecosystems. Hydrothermal vents, chimneys spewing mineral-rich water, dot the seafloor in places, glowing faintly with life clinging to their sides. These vents provide energy, not from the sun, but from the earth itself. Proof that entire ecosystems can thrive without a single ray of sunlight. The implications are staggering. If life can exist in such alien conditions, it suggests that biology is not bound to Earth's surface at all. It may emerge wherever chemistry and energy align, on other planets, on distant moons, even deep within icy worlds, circling faraway stars. And yet, the trench tells a more immediate story as well. The forces at work here are unimaginably violent. The grinding of tectonic plates builds tension that, when released, triggers earthquakes capable of devastating tsunamis. Some of the largest seismic events in history were born in trenches like this. To study these landscapes is not just to satisfy curiosity, but to understand the dangers that still threaten millions who live along the Pacific's Ring of Fire. Still, what makes the trench feel most alien is its silence. Unlike mountain ranges or volcanic islands, it cannot be seen from above. It does not shout its existence. It waits, hidden beneath miles of water, its landscapes unfolding only to those bold enough to descend. To map it is to glimpse the architecture of a planet still in motion, still alive beneath its thin blue veil. And so, the trench is both a frontier and a reminder. A frontier of discovery, where Earth's geology and biology meet in the most extreme ways, and a reminder that our planet is not a finished world, but a living one, still writing its story deep beneath the waves. But the story is not only about landscapes, for even as the trench reveals Earth's deepest secrets, it also uncovers something far more troubling, the evidence of our own presence in a place we were never meant to reach. When scientists sent robotic landers into Challenger Deep, they expected to find untouched wilderness. What they discovered instead shocked the world. Plastic bags, food wrappers, and fibers from clothing, fragments of human civilization, had settled into the deepest place on Earth. Even here, where no sunlight shines and no person has walked, the fingerprints of humanity were unmistakable. It was not just debris that drifted down. Sediment samples pulled from the trench floor contained traces of industrial chemicals, heavy metals, and even radioactive isotopes from nuclear tests conducted decades earlier. The ocean, it seems, is not a sealed world, but a conveyor, carrying the products of human activity into its farthest and most hidden corners. For many, this revelation was sobering. The Mariana Trench had long symbolized the ultimate frontier, a place beyond human influence. Yet the very fact that our waste has reached this abyss makes one thing clear: no part of the Earth is truly untouched. If pollution can seep into the trench, then it has seeped everywhere. And there is another layer to this truth. The trench, while a realm of wonder, is also a realm of resources. Beneath its sediments lie deposits of rare earth metals and minerals, the kind used in smartphones, computers, and advanced technologies. Nations have begun to eye these deep sea reserves as the next great frontier of extraction, a place where wealth and power may be hidden as surely as strange creatures. This has transformed the trench into more than a scientific curiosity. It is becoming a geopolitical prize. Countries like China, the United States, and Japan have all invested heavily in deep-sea exploration technologies. Officially, much of this research is presented as science, mapping, surveying, or studying ecosystems. But behind the language of discovery lies the shadow of strategy. Who will control the resources of the deep? And what will they mean for the balance of global power? Already, civil-military fusion blurs the line between research and defense. A vessel charting the seafloor might just as easily be gathering data useful for submarines. A robot designed to sample biology might also map acoustic pathways for naval stealth. The trench, once imagined as an alien wilderness, is now a silent stage where science and strategy intersect. This reality unsettles many who see the deep ocean not as a resource, but as a sanctuary. For if extraction begins, the consequences will be irreversible. The fragile ecosystems that took millions of years to adapt to crushing darkness may be destroyed in a moment. The pollution we have already sent down is proof of how quickly human influence spreads. Mining the abyss could erase mysteries before we even understand them. And so, the Mariana Trench stands at a crossroads. It is a place of awe and inspiration, but also a mirror reflecting our own impact, our hunger for resources, and our reach into realms we scarcely comprehend. To peer into its depths is to confront both the resilience of life and the fragility of our stewardship. Yet even amid these sobering truths, the trench continues to beckon. Its creatures, its landscapes, its mysteries, all remind us that much remains undiscovered. And the future of exploration may yet reveal wonders greater than the challenges we bring with us. Yet even amid these sobering truths, the trench continues to beckon. Its creatures, its landscapes, its mysteries, all remind us that much remains undiscovered. And the future of exploration may yet reveal wonders greater than the challenges we bring with us. For scientists, the Mariana Trench is more than a destination. It is a natural laboratory, a place where the rules of biology, chemistry, and geology bend in ways we are only beginning to understand. Studying extremophiles, organisms that thrive in extreme conditions, could help us design new medicines, enzymes, and materials. Already, researchers have identified trench microbes capable of breaking down toxic chemicals, organisms that may one day help us clean polluted environments or develop new treatments for disease. The trench is also a mirror for questions beyond Earth. If life can exist without sunlight, fed only by chemical reactions in the deep, then similar life may thrive beneath the icy crusts of Europa or Enceladus. Each new discovery made in the abyss strengthens the case for life elsewhere in the universe. In this way, the trench is not just Earth's final frontier. It is a rehearsal for the search for life beyond our planet. There are lessons for Earth itself as well. The geological activity of trenches, from earthquakes to volcanic arcs, plays a direct role in shaping continents and oceans. Understanding these processes could improve predictions of natural disasters, potentially saving lives in regions vulnerable to tsunamis and seismic events. The abyss is not detached from our world. It is a hidden engine that drives the planet we live on every day. And then there is the human element. Every dive into the trench is not just an expedition, but a reminder of our nature. We are explorers by instinct. We push into the unknown, not because it is easy, but because it is there. The story of Trieste, of James Cameron, of countless unnamed engineers and scientists. It is the story of humanity's refusal to accept limits. But perhaps the greatest reason the trench matters is more personal. In a time when so much of the world feels mapped, measured, and explained, the abyss offers something rare: mystery. It is a place that humbles us, reminding us that even with all our technology, we have barely scratched the surface of Earth's wonders. The future of deep exploration may bring breakthroughs in science and technology, but its true gift may be simpler: a reminder of wonder. A reminder that our planet still holds secrets worth chasing, and that discovery is not finished, but only just beginning. And yet, for all we know, the trench still keeps its greatest mysteries hidden. The final answers remain sealed in the darkness, waiting for those bold enough to descend. By the way, if you want to follow more of these untold stories from the deep, subscribe and join me as we dive into what lies beyond the surface. Every dive, every sample, every flicker of light from a camera lens only reveals fragments. The vast majority remains unseen, untouched, and unknown. It is easy to believe that humanity has conquered its world. We have scaled the highest mountains, crossed deserts, and walked upon the moon. But the truth is far humbler. More than 95% of the ocean is still unexplored. Beneath the waves lies a realm as alien as any distant planet, and the Mariana Trench is its deepest heart. What waits there in the silence? More strange creatures, shimmering and translucent. Geologies that rewrite our understanding of the Earth itself? or perhaps discoveries that we cannot yet imagine, ones that will alter the course of science, technology, and even human destiny. The abyss does not answer, it only waits. Waiting in silence, waiting in darkness, waiting for the next light to pierce its depths. Perhaps that is why the trench holds us in such fascination. It is not only the creatures or the landscapes that captivate us. It is the reminder that mystery still exists, that in a world mapped and measured, there are still places where the unknown reigns. And maybe, just maybe, that is the greatest discovery of all, that our planet still has secrets. Secrets so deep, so vast, and so strange that they humble us and call us forward. For the abyss is not only the end of the earth, it is the beginning of wonder.